Now we go a little bit more into the technical details, into some technical definitions. Here on the slide, we concentrate on the terms data, information, and knowledge, and they somehow share certain aspects. If you look into data, then you might not talk about information and you don't talk at all about knowledge. If you talk about data, then you talk about the technical aspects, signs or a signal which somehow represent a certain part of the information. And this might be certain values which are written in a database, and they somehow then assign a value to a field, for example. Data, very technical, concentrated on signs, on letters and numbers, somehow on signals, on physical signals which represent an information. Data. If you enrich these data with a little bit more knowledge about certain facts, knowledge about the environment of the data, then you talk about information. You do not have the technical data only, you have then information, enriched data. And as you might see, it's not only about the technical data, about the value which is in a field in a database or something similar. You have, with information, you have some additional knowledge, you have some additional knowledge about the surroundings of the data, and then you talk about the information. It's a little bit difficult to segregate it from knowledge, but if knowledge is present, then you have the awareness of a wider area of expertise. So it's not only that you have some additional data, some additional facts about your data, then it would be information. It's with knowledge, it is that you have a wider knowledge about the connection to other facts, about a wider area of expertise, about other terminologies, other facts in your area of expertise, rules, methods, maybe possible interpretations of the information. If we have such things, then we talk about knowledge, not only information anymore. Let's have a look at an example regarding first the value 38.5. If here in the lower part of the slide an example, the value in the database is 38.5. If you just see this value, it's in a field of your table, then you have data. That's data only, 38.5. Then it might be that you have some additional data. For example, in this table, you see this value 38.5 in the column which is named body temperature. Body temperature is the column. You write this 38.5 in, and then you know, okay, this 38.5, these are not meters, these are not seconds, whatever. These 38.5 are degrees centigrade. You know something more about your data, and you even know it's not the water temperature, It's not a material temperature, it's a body temperature. The body temperature is 38.5. And then thinking might start within you. You see, okay, 38.5, it's quite hot. Then you have additional expertise, additional knowledge about your area of expertise. You know about rules, you know more about the body, maybe you know about the human body. Then you know, okay, fever of a human body starts at 38 degrees centigrade. Here we have a body temperature, let's say a human body temperature. Then this body runs fever. And that's your knowledge then. The body runs fever. That's your knowledge. That's not only information, that's not only data. The body runs fever. That's your knowledge about the body, about the things you might have collected in your database. So if you look into values, if you look into information, if you look into your data in the database, then you have to distinguish between these three definitions: data on the lowest level, then information, enriched data with some facts, operations, or objects, and you have the knowledge if you are aware of a wider area of expertise, if you know more about the connection of your data, your information, to other data and information. We have some more definitions: message and communication, and we have the organizational related definition for management. But first, let's look at message. Maybe you have a feeling for what is an email message. If you have an email message, then you somehow exchange data, and these data, the signs, the letters, the numbers within your email message, they are aggregated. They are somehow aggregated together to this email message. There's also a technical header in this email then, which you usually not see in your email program. But anyway, there are data somehow aggregated, somehow in a common form within your email program. And if you consider this email, then you might talk about this email as one unit. You don't talk about, you don't understand this email as several units, even if there are several topics prescribed in the email. You talk about this email as one unit, one message. This is similar to our definition for message. We have some data in the message. We have these data somehow aggregated for a certain purpose, and transferred together. And then, as you see here on the right side, we have the data aggregated, and this forms our message, our unit, which we understand as message, some data aggregated together. Then if you talk about communication, the second term here, communication, then we talk about exchange of messages, exchange of such units prescribed before, and we say exchange might be the sending from one agent to the other, from one software program to the other software program, or from a software program to an agent, or vice versa. So somehow sending these messages from one sender to another receiver. Then we need to talk about management. If we talk about management, if we talk about the term management, then it comprises all tasks within an enterprise which do not have an executing character. Executing character, what does it mean? For example, executing would be you somehow are in the production line and you work on a machine and you produce 100 pieces of your product, for example. This is an executing character. If you are in management, of course, you don't stand in the production line and you don't produce manually somehow the product items. You rather, in the management, somehow organize that these tasks are working, that the organization is doing what's the purpose of the organization. That's the task of the management, somehow leading the organization in a certain organizational unit or in the entire organization to follow a certain business goal. That's the management. Not executing anything in the production line or executing anything in the human resources department. You don't care about the human resources processes. You care about the management, the organization, the overall organization of the tasks in the enterprise. Of course, you have to be in line with the company goals. If you are in management, you don't follow any other goals. You follow the company rules, the company goals. And if you don't follow the company goals, then either your upper management or your investors will somehow see that the company goals are not followed anymore, and then maybe they exchange your position and set somebody in a position who follows the company goals. Examples for such a area of management are the company management, the overall company management. Let's say the managing director. This might be the managing director might be a typical position which is assigned in management. And the production management also contains this management term here. Production management caring about the tasks, about the processes, about the human resources, for example, in the production department. So the production management itself does not perform any executing tasks. Production management does not produce the items, the product items. The production management organizes the tasks which somehow have to be solved in the production department.